Hey guys, it's Ep25 and welcome back to episode 25 of my Leeds United career mode. Now today, we're hopefully going to be making some new signings. I've got plenty of money to spend, 15.5 million. I've been looking at your suggestions in the comments, and I've kind of added a few people to the shortlist. But before I get into this episode, if we could go hit 25 likes on this video, I'd be really appreciated. Don't forget to also go subscribe as well if you haven't already. It's just one click of a button. Right, okay, let's move on to these players that I've basically put on my shortlist and you guys have suggested. So, the new ones that I've actually put in there, I think Bridcut, first of all, I need to try and get in, but he should be quite a good signing. He's English, isn't he? I'm pretty sure Bridcut? No, he's Scottish, sorry, he's Scottish. But the suggestions that I got, one of them was this guy from Bayern Munich. Now, I think he's called Kirchhoff, something like that, I'm going to go with. But yeah, he's one of the suggestions I've had. Tielemans has also been suggested quite a few times. But Fabian Delph is someone that I really want to bring back to Ellen Road and hopefully get him going really well and grow him. And yeah, he could be a really good player for us. But someone I also like the look of is Manu Garcia. 69 overall, 18 years old. What a signing that could be. 69 overall in this team. He's actually probably a bench player, something like that, and he's 18 years old. So I'm going to give it a go, try and buy him. It should be fairly cheap if I can maybe trade a player in order to get him in. And I think the player we're going to be trading is Stewart Dallas. Now, I don't want him anymore. He's not going to be good enough for the Premier League. 68 overall and 25. It doesn't really work for this team. Now, I know that he's a left mid, and this guy I'm trying to get into center attacking mid, but I'm sure he can play in a similar sort of position. So we'll go with 775 grand, which is how much Dallas is worth. And then on top of that, we'll give them an extra million as well. Hopefully Man City agreed to that, and we can maybe try and get him in. There's also, I think, a few other players as well that I put on the shortlist. I've also got the likes of, well, El Ghazi was suggested in the very first season at the start of this career mode, so he would be quite nice to get in. Is he going to be too expensive? 7.5 million. We need to get in one sort of marquee signing at some point. Peter Crouch would be nice, but probably not going to be good enough for the team. But Sadio Berahino looks really good. He's only got 12 months left on his contract, so I'll inquire about him, see what they say. They'll probably come back with some sort of extortionate price, but we can hopefully knock them a bit further down on that. Sandro is a player I'm interested in from Barcelona. This would be on a 2-year loan, and again, I like to get in some of these loan players from bigger clubs, because you can kind of keep them for a little bit of time, can't you, in the decent quality for us anyway. So I'll go with a 2-year loan, see what they say to that Barcelona, and we'll continue looking at some other players on this list as well. I think El Ghazi would be brilliant to get in, but I think he's going to be too expensive for us. So, we'll now move on to Fabian Delph. Now, is he going to be someone that I can actually buy? 10, 11 million, something like that. He's a squad rotational player. Could I put in a cheeky little loan deal, do you think? Would they let him go out on loan? We'll go 2 years to start off with. If they reject that, we might go with 1. Could I get him in on loan? I don't know whether I want to buy him because he's quite an expensive player considering I don't have loads on my budget. But yeah, Joe Allen would be nice to get in, I suppose. But again, I think he's going to be a bit too much. I'd rather get in someone like Bridcut, who's 2.7 million, 75 overall, than have to spend 6, 7, 8 million on players that are kind of similar overall to him. So I'm going to go with, I think, 1.6 as my initial bid. Hopefully getting Bridcut, that'll be a really good signing for us, I think, as well. So looking forward to hopefully trying to get him in. And anybody else? I mean, I need a new left back. Did I get in a new left back or not last episode? I can't remember. Joe Gomez was on my list though, because Charlie Taylor is probably on the way out here. I've got Matt Target. I don't have a new left back other than that, so I need to get in another new left back. I'll be back in a second once I've found one. So I do think that Joe Gomez is the best option for us. I'm going to go 1.7 million as my bid. It's near enough in between the two values that the chief executive has given to me. And I've also decided to list a couple of players so far, because that is generally what I do first. This time I haven't though, I've done this off camera. And the players that I've listed are Buckley, because for me he's not good enough last season. Dallas, as you know, I don't really think he's good enough for the Premier League. And Bamba. Now Bamba being the club captain is a little bit controversial, but I'm hopefully going to give the captaincy to, I think, Jack Butland. I'm not 100% sure yet though. But for me, Bamba is going down in overall. He's not obviously getting any better due to his age, and I think it's time for him to go. So I need to get in a big, strong centre-back to kind of fill in his place. which is going to be obviously a big place that he's going to be lost in our team. So we need to find a new centre-back now as well. That player could be Eric Dyer potentially, but there's also these other players I'm looking at, so we'll be back in a second once I've decided which one to go with. And the player I've decided that I'm going to put in a bid for is this guy here, 75 overall, 26 years old. I think that's a pretty decent overall on age as well. So he's got decent pace, which is obviously something that you really look for in a centre-back. And he's really strong, 88 strength, 81 stamina as well. His jumping's 85. You look at his shot power there is really good, don't know why. Obviously, his defensive side of things isn't great, but I don't know if you actually need that on this game, really. I think you can survive with anything, to be honest. But anyway, his heading accuracy, 70 overall as well, so it looks really good. 6'4", and he just seems like an absolute tank. So I want to try and get him in. 4 million is what I'm going to put in as an initial bid. I hope they agree to that, but I'm sure we'll find out very shortly. I'm also going to inquire about this guy. I think he's called Pereira. He was suggested in the comments. I believe that this is the right person that he was on about. But anyway, I am going to hopefully inquire about him, see what he's like, because apparently he's really good, and it did say that he's an exciting prospect, did it say? So yeah, I think he should be quite a good player. We will move on to training some players now. Back in a second, once I've decided which 5 players to train. These are the 5 players I've gone for. They're generally my really young players, these ones, so I'm just desperate to try and get them up in overall and hopefully get them somewhere. I mean, that is an amazing bit of growth there for Roberts, actually, stamina flying up, but no overall increases from those drills. Let's move on now to the first day of July and see what sort of emails we get back. First of all, we are invited to a pre-season tournament. I was wondering when this would pop up, and it is now. We're going to advance to the invites, have a look who we have. Not loads of money on offer here, as you'd probably expect. We have just been promoted. So I think the best option there for me looks to be, I know the most money is obviously in Italy. That'll probably make it more realistic going to Italy actually as well. But there is Burnley in that one. And is it Palmero, is it? So I'm going to go for this one. I think it makes the most sense. 3.6 million, and yet the teams are a little bit worse. So I'll go with that one, and hopefully we can get all the money from that tournament. And this idea Berahino inquiry is 15 million from Tony Pulis. So that is a lot more than I was expecting. I don't think I'll be giving them that sort of amount. I was more after around about 7 million. We'll go with that. And they want me to reach the quarterfinals of the Euro League. Of course, I forgot I'm playing the Euro League. That's down to the fact that I won the FA Cup, isn't it, I think? So, yeah, I wasn't expecting that. We could actually win the Europa League this season. We have Chris Dawson returning from loan. We've also got Calvin Phillips returning from loan. And we have got Anderlecht saying they want 6 million for the centre-back, I think it is. Yeah, the centre-back, they want 6. We'll give them 5. Hopefully they agree to that, just because we're going in between the 2 values that we've obviously put in. And Joe Gomez, 1.7 million has been accepted. We'll give him a 5-year contract, 9 grand a week, and I think we will go with actually, do I go squad rotational player? Yeah, I think we'll go with that for now. And finally, we got back the inquiry for Pereira, which is 7 million, so they clearly rate him quite highly there. I think, again, we're just going to have to lower that a little bit. We'll go 2.5 million, which is obviously quite a lot less, but I'm hoping to get a bit of a bargain here. It was also suggested to maybe start scouting some more players again. I forgot that for some reason my scouts have now stopped. I can't remember being told that they'd stopped scouting players, so we're going to again look to England, and we'll go with a 9-month duration. Hopefully we can find some decent players. We'll also hire another scout, and maybe just get this one here that I think is a 4-star, 3-star, isn't he? So he looks like the best one. We'll go with him. He's Scottish. Whether that makes any difference or not, I doubt it. But anyway, where do I want to try and find players from? We'll go Italy. I think that's probably kind of the most realistic one, other than England, to go with. But yeah, I think we won't we won't get another scout in just because it's obviously costing us some money, this. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. We can hopefully find some nice young talent in those countries. And let's move on to scouting the exact same 5 players yet again. Hopefully get some increases this time round. And yes, the stamina of Patrick Roberts there going up, but nothing else. I've got a final scout report here on Max Gradle, who I think I scouted in the previous episode, I think. But anyway, 79 overall. Could he make a return back to Ellen Road? 8.5 million. It's a lot of money for him, really, isn't it? I know he's 79 overall, but it is a lot of money. He's 28 as well. He's not young anymore, to be honest. He's just getting towards the end of his peak age. He can also play striker as well as right wing. 10 million is a lot for him. I don't think I'll make a bid for him right now. What is this player here that's a free agent? I'll scout him. I don't know why he's appeared. He must be a decent player. We'll try scouting him, see what comes back from that. Sunderland have accepted the £1.6 million bid for Bridcut. That could be a real bargain, that one for Bridcut, considering he's 75 overall. 30 grand a week is what I'm going to go with. And I think he will be a crucial first-team player. I was going to put important at first, but I think crucial is the right one to go with. And Man City not looking to loan out Delph at this moment in time. What a surprise that is. We will just quickly go back and offer like a 1-year loan maybe, or a short-term we'll then go with after that. Because if we can get Fabian Delph, even for half a season, I'd happily take that. So, again, we'll go with it. I think he might be in here. Could be wrong. Here he is. But yeah, I think we'll again go with the 1-year loan deal this time, and possibly try and get him in still. And Barcelona have come back to us and said that they have accepted the loan offer, the 2-year loan deal for Sandro, 35 grand a week. And I'm thinking that's a good bit of business there, I'm hoping anyway. 35 grand a week isn't too bad considering I've got him for 2 years, he's 20 years old. I think he could be a really good player for us, so I'm happy about that one. And also they've accepted, this time Manchester City have accepted the bid for Manu Garcia. He wants 6 grand a week, that's fair enough, that's what he's currently on, and we'll give him a 5-year deal because he looks really good. And for me, I think he's going to be a squad rotational player, so that's exactly what I'll give him. And I'm going to try something a little bit different here. I'm going to try and get in Connor Wickham, who was suggested in the comments again, but this time I'm going to put in a bit of a trade deal, and it's going to involve Chris Wood. Now, I think this could be an interesting deal for us if it does happen. It's quite unlikely, but I'm going to give it a go. He's worth 2 million. There's some people in the comments calling for him to be sold, so I'm going to do 2 million and 3 million on top, so 5 million in total. I'm not really too sure how much Connor Wickham is worth, but I'm sure we'll find out from Alan Pardew when he responds to the bid. Transfer offer in here for Stewart Dallas, 650 grand from Birmingham City. We're just going to reject that because he's part of obviously a deal that we're trying to do with Manu Garcia, so we will just reject it. And we have got them saying the sum is too low. I believe it's worth more than that. That's Pereira, Sporting Lisbon player. I believe it's worth more than 2.5 million. So we'll go with 3. We'll up it. In fact, no, we're going to put in Will Buckley, who I want to try and get rid of. And we'll also chuck on top of that, I think, 1.5 million. Hopefully they agree to that. That should be a bit of a better deal because we'll obviously get rid of Buckley and get in a new player. West Brom still wanting 15 million for Berahino. We will just not go ahead with that and continue on with other deals. This is another player we're trying to get in though. They've accepted the bid, 5 million for him, and he is wanting 35 grand a week. That'll be our highest paid player if I do give him that. But I've decided to go with 33. He'd still be the highest paid player because I think it's Bamba on 25 grand at the moment. 3-year deal. I'm going to go 4 actually. I'll push for that. And we'll go in crucial first team player. And Joe Gomez accepted the 9 grand a week contract. That means I can now sign him. He's our new left back, and I also need to put Charlie Taylor on the transfer list as well, which I've not done yet. I'm now going to start offering some new contracts to players. Sol Bamba obviously is hopefully on the way out for me. I think I'm going to hope to try and sell him, so I won't offer him a new deal. We've also got Liam Cooper here, who is on 1 year left. I think I might want to actually let that contract run out because he wants 20 grand a week. I've tried looking at it and he wants 20 grand, which is obviously ridiculous. He is not Premier League quality to have 20 grand a week. So I'm probably just going to let that contract run out if I'm totally honest. Maybe try and get in a left-sided centre-back at some stage in the season, whether it's now or in January. But I'm not really too sure why Cooper wants 20 grand. That seems way too much for me. And we've also got Charlie Horton, who's running out of contract here. Again, don't think I'll offer him a new contract just yet. Calvin Phillips, I think, definitely needs a new contract. Should be a really good player in a couple of seasons. But yeah, we will give him 3,900 as he wants. And we'll go sporadic first team player. Probably go back out on loan, to be honest, Phillips. Ross Turnbull, again, don't think I'll offer him a contract. He's good as a backup keeper, but I think I'm going to look at a different backup keeper than Turnbull, so we'll probably just leave that contract for now. Casper Sloth, I think, will also be leaving the football club. We won't offer him a new deal because I'm getting a lot of sentiment at the moment. And Bataka, I think I want to try and keep him. I'm going to offer him a new contract. Wow, okay, 20 grand a week. I will not be offering a new contract for that amount. We'll give him 15, and if he doesn't want to accept it, he can go. Simple as that, really. But we will have Casper Sloth. We will list him. I won't be listing Bataka. He'll probably just end his contract if he doesn't want to accept it. But yeah, we will be listing Sloth, who I don't think is good enough really to be in the team that often, especially for signing new centre mids. He only has 12 months left on his contract, so he probably will go for a little bit less than he's actually worth. And now onto this friendly match that we have, obviously in European Shield, the Preseason Tournament we're taking part in. We will be just simming this game. That's the team I've gone with. It's Dwight Gale up top. And yeah, it's not an amazing team, it's okay. Jack Butland doesn't start as Ross Turnbull because Butland's out on international duty. And yeah, we will just skip this one, and we've drawn the game 1-1. So not the greatest of results, but I think we'll take it. It's better than a loss, put it that way. Anyway, transfer offer in here for Charlie Taylor, and it's Aston Villa trying to nick him off us. We will obviously try and sell him to Aston Villa, but I want a little bit more for him than 1.4. I know that's how much he's worth, but I think 1.6 is more like it. Manu Garcia is a new Leeds United player now as well. That's fantastic news. Looks a really talented player. I like him a lot in real life as well. He does seem like he could be a fantastic player for Man City in a few years' time. Let's try and get in some more players before I end this episode. And we have done. We've got in Liam Bridcut as well. He accepted 30 grand a week. Not really surprising, to be honest. I'd have that quite happily. And yes, we have... Oh, Man City rejecting the loan offer for Fabian Delph. Can we go for a short-term loan, maybe? Or should I just end it here? Maybe I should just end it, but I'm gonna give it a go. Short-term loan. See what they say to that. They'll probably just tell me to go away, to be honest, won't they? But we're gonna try it. We're gonna see whether we can get him in. And I can't believe this. Crystal Palace have accepted the 3 million and Chris Wood for Connor Wickham. Let's try and get him in on a 4-year deal. We will go, I think... I don't know what overall he is. I think he might be 73, 74, Connor Wickham. So, am I overpaying? Am I overpaying? 3 million and a player that's worth 2 million. 5 million in total for Connor Wickham. I might be overpaying a little bit. I think we're going to go crucial first team player. But yeah, I'm just hoping it's a fairly decent overall now. I've kind of just panicked myself thinking about it. But yeah, they're not interested in the player that I've included for Pereira. And that player obviously was Buckley. But we're going to make them interested by putting in 2 million to hopefully try and get him in. And let's see what the other emails say. Okay, so we've got the centre-back, I think this was. Was this the centre-back? Yes, it was. He says he doesn't want to relocate, but he could be persuaded. And we'll give him the 35 grand to try and persuade him there. Hopefully we can get him in. He looks like a really good player. We'll go crucial first team player again. And Bataka has declined because his wage demands have not been met. So I suppose he looks like he'll be on the way out at the end of the season. Aston Villa will come back saying they don't want to pay anymore. They're happy paying 1.4 million. And again, I think we're just going to agree with that as well. We'll accept it. And hopefully getting some money for Charlie Taylor. Calvin Phillips has declined the contract. So it's a greater role in the squad. Wasn't expecting that one actually from him. He wants to be a squad rotational player, which I think is a little bit too high, to be honest, with us being in the Premier League. Where's he gone? Where is he? There he is, Calvin Phillips. So we'll give him 3,900, and I suppose we'll just have to give him the squad rotational player in order for him to stay. And that is now it for this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this, then please go to the thumbs up button and also go subscribe as well. We really appreciate it. Let's try and hit 25 likes on this video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.